My name is Ollie. I am 22 years old. I live with my mother in a small house. We do not have much money, but we are happy. Every day, I go to school, study hard, and help my mother at home. Life is simple, but full of love. My school is very big. Many students there are rich. They wear new clothes every day. They bring expensive phones and come in big cars. One of them is Sarah. She is also 22 years old. Sarah is rich, very rich. Everyone knows her. Everyone wants to be her friend. Sarah always looks beautiful. Her hair is shiny, her clothes are perfect, and her smile is like sunshine. But I never talked to her. I thought, she is rich. I am poor. Why would she ever talk to me? One afternoon, I was sitting alone in the school park. The weather was cool. I was thinking about my homework. I was thinking about my dreams. Suddenly, I heard a soft voice behind me. "Hello, Ollie." I turned around, surprised. It was Sarah. She was smiling at me. I blinked my eyes. Was this real? Was Sarah really talking to me? I stood up quickly. Hi, Sarah," I said. My voice was shaking. My heart was beating fast. Very fast. Sarah laughed a little and said, "Why do you always sit alone?" I looked at the ground and said, "I do not have many friends." Sarah sat down next to me. I could not believe it. "Sometimes," she said, "I feel lonely too." I looked at her, shocked. "But you have so many friends." Sarah shook her head. "Many people talk to me, but not many people really care." Her words touched my heart. Maybe rich people feel lonely too. Sarah asked me about my life. I told her about my mother, about our small house, and about my dreams. I told her that I wanted to become a teacher one day. Sarah listened very carefully. She did not laugh. She did not make fun of me. She smiled a warm, kind smile. "That is a beautiful dream, Ollie," she said. "You are very smart. I believe you can do it." I felt so happy. No one had ever said that to me before. We talked and laughed for a long time. It felt like a dream, a good dream. I showed her my favorite books. She told me about her love for painting. We were so different, but we understood each other. As the sun started to set, I looked at her and said, "Thank you, Sarah, for talking to me." She smiled and said, "Thank you, Ollie, for being real." That evening, as I walked home, I could not stop smiling. I had made a new friend, a rich girl, and a poor boy, talking like best friends. But deep inside my heart, I was a little scared too. I knew that people might not understand. They might say, "Why is Sarah talking to Ollie? He is poor." Still, I did not care. For the first time in my life, I felt important. I felt seen, and that feeling was more precious than gold. After that day, Sarah and I started meeting every afternoon. We would sit under the big tree in the school park. We would talk for hours and hours. It felt so nice, so special. Sarah told me many things about her life. She lived in a very big house, much bigger than I could ever imagine. Her room was bigger than my whole house. She had everything: new clothes, gold jewelry, a swimming pool, even a big garden with flowers everywhere. But Sarah said something that surprised me. "Ollie," she said one day, "even with all these things, sometimes I feel empty inside." I looked at her, shocked. "Empty? But you have everything." Sarah smiled sadly. "Things cannot fill the heart, Ollie. Love, kindness, and real friends. That is what makes life beautiful." Her words touched my heart again, deeply. I realized something important. Money can buy many things, but it cannot buy true happiness. One day, Sarah invited me to her house. "Please come, Ollie. I want you to see my world," she said excitedly. I felt nervous. I looked at my old shoes, my simple clothes. I thought, how can I go to a rich girl's house? What if people laugh at me? Sarah saw the fear in my eyes. "Do not worry, Ollie," she said, holding my hand gently. "You are my friend, and that is all that matters." Her words gave me courage. I smiled and said, "Okay, I will come." The next day I wore my best shirt. It was clean, but a little old. I combed my hair nicely. I looked into the mirror and said to myself, "Be brave, Ollie. You can do this." When I reached Sarah's house, my mouth opened wide. Wow! It was huge. The gate was tall. The garden was full of colorful flowers. The house was shining in the sunlight. Sarah came running to me, smiling brightly. "Welcome, Ollie." I smiled back, but inside my heart was beating fast. Very fast. Sarah showed me her home. Everything was beautiful, shining floors, big paintings, soft sofas, and a grand piano in the hall. "This is amazing," I said, looking around. Sarah laughed. "Yes, it is big, but it is empty without true friends." She showed me her room too. It was like a dream, books, paintings, fairy lights, and a big window with a view of the garden. "I always wanted someone real to visit," Sarah said softly. "Someone who likes me, not my money." I looked at her and said, "Sarah, you are a wonderful person, with or without money." Sarah's eyes filled with tears, happy tears. She hugged me tightly and said, "Thank you, Ollie. You are my true friend." At that moment, I realized something. Love and friendship do not care about rich or poor. They only care about the heart. As I left her house that evening, I felt stronger, happier, and ready for whatever was waiting for us next. But deep inside, a small fear grew. Will others let us be friends? Will the world accept a poor boy and a rich girl? Only time would tell. After visiting Sarah's house, I felt so happy. Our friendship grew stronger every day. We shared dreams, laughed together, and even helped each other with studies. It felt like life was finally shining, like a beautiful sunrise. But good times do not stay forever. One morning at school, as I entered the classroom, I heard whispers, loud whispers. "Look, the poor boy is friends with Sarah. Why would Sarah talk to someone like him? He just wants her money." The words cut my heart, like a knife. I looked around. Many students were laughing, pointing at me, making fun of me. I tried to smile. I tried to act strong. But inside, my heart was breaking piece by piece. Sarah walked into the classroom, smiling brightly. When she saw me, she waved happily. But she also heard the whispers, she saw the looks. I could see the sadness in her eyes, like a dark cloud covering the sun. Later, in the school park, I sat under the big tree, my head low, my hands shaking. Sarah came and sat beside me. "Ollie," she said softly, "do not listen to them. They do not know you. They do not know us." I looked at her and asked, "Sarah, why are they so cruel? Why can they not let us be friends?" Sarah sighed deeply. People are scared of things they do not understand. They think money is everything. They think rich people can only be friends with other rich people. I felt tears in my eyes, but I blinked them away. I did not want to cry. Not now. Sarah held my hand and said, "Ollie, you are my friend. and I will not leave you, no matter what." Her words gave me a little hope, like a tiny light in a dark room. But the days after that were hard, very hard. Some students started playing tricks on me. They hid my books. They pushed me in the hallway. They laughed loudly when I passed by. Once, they even tore my homework and said, "Poor boys do not belong here." I wanted to scream. I wanted to fight. But I remembered my mother's words, "Ollie, always choose kindness over anger." So I stayed silent, but inside a storm was growing. Sarah saw everything. She tried to protect me. She stood by me. She spoke to the teachers. She even told the principal about the bullying. But things only got worse. One day, Sarah's father came to school. He was a big, strong man with a serious face. He called Sarah to the office. I watched from far away, feeling cold. Very cold. Later, Sarah came back to me, her face pale, her eyes full of tears. "Ollie," she whispered, "my father found out about us, about our friendship." I held my breath. "What did he say?" Sarah looked down and said, "He is very angry. He said I cannot talk to you anymore." I felt like the ground under my feet had broken. I could not speak. I could not move. Sarah grabbed my hands and said quickly, "But I do not care. I will not leave you, Ollie. I will fight for our friendship." I looked into her brave, shining eyes, and I knew this was not the end. This was just the beginning of a new battle. We stood there, holding hands, standing against the world. No matter how hard it would be, no matter how much pain we had to face, we knew one thing for sure. True friendship, true love, is stronger than fear. After that day, everything changed. Sarah and I could not meet in school anymore. Her father had warned her. The teachers were also told to keep an eye on us. It felt like a big wall had come between us, a wall made of fear and anger. But Sarah was strong, stronger than anyone I had ever seen. She found ways to send me small notes. She would hide them inside books, or pass them through a kind classmate. Every time I opened a note, my heart smiled. "Stay strong, Ollie. I believe in you. True friendship never dies." Her words were like magic. They gave me hope. They gave me courage. One afternoon, when school ended, I was walking home slowly, very slowly. I felt tired, not just in my body, but in my heart too. Suddenly, I heard a soft voice behind me. "Ollie." I turned around. It was Sarah. She had followed me secretly. "Sarah, what are you doing here?" I asked, scared and surprised. She laughed and said, "I had to see you. I missed you so much." I smiled, but then I looked around quickly. "Sarah, if someone sees us, there will be trouble." Sarah shook her head. "I do not care. I cannot live in fear. Friendship is about trust, not about hiding." I felt so proud of her, so lucky to have her as a friend. We walked together to a small park near my house. It was an old, quiet park, with broken swings and dusty benches. But for us, it became the most beautiful place in the world. We sat on a bench and talked and laughed and dreamed. Sarah said, "Ollie, one day we will be free. One day no one will stop us." I looked at her shining eyes and said, "Yes, Sarah, one day the world will understand. True friendship has no price and no limits." But deep inside, I knew the fight was not over yet. The next day, things got worse. When I reached home, my mother was waiting for me at the door. Her face was worried, very worried. "Ollie, she said, "Today a rich man came to our house. He was Sarah's father." My heart stopped. I could not breathe. My mother continued, "He said you are not good enough for his daughter. He said you must stay away from her, or there will be trouble." I felt like crying, screaming, running far away. My mother touched my shoulder and said softly, "Ollie, listen to me. True respect does not come from money. It comes from the heart. Be proud of who you are." Tears rolled down my cheeks, hot, silent tears. That night, I could not sleep. I kept thinking, should I give up? Should I walk away? Should I break my promise to Sarah? But then I remembered her smiling face, her brave words, her kind heart. "No," I said loudly in the dark. "I will not leave Sarah. I will fight for our friendship. I will stay strong." The next morning, I wrote a small note for Sarah. "I will never give up on us. Together, we are strong. Ollie." I hid the note inside her favorite book in the school library. When Sarah found it, she smiled brightly, her eyes shining with hope and love. We both knew the road ahead would be full of stones, full of storms, full of pain. But we also knew, when two hearts believe in each other, nothing is impossible. Days passed, then weeks, but our hearts did not change. Sarah and I found small ways to meet, to smile, to keep our bond alive. Sometimes we met in the old park. Sometimes we just waved from far away. Sometimes we sent tiny notes full of hope and dreams. Every little moment felt like gold, pure gold. But Sarah's father was still angry, very angry. One evening after school, Sarah sent me a secret message. "Ollie, meet me at the old park tonight. It is very important." My heart beat fast. What happened? Was she in trouble? At night, I ran to the park. My feet could not move fast enough. There she was, standing under the biggest tree, her eyes shining in the moonlight. "Sarah, what happened?" I asked, breathing hard. She looked at me, took a deep breath, and said, "Ollie, my father wants to send me away to another city." I felt the ground shake under my feet. "No," I shouted. "He cannot do this." Sarah nodded sadly. "He thinks if I leave, I will forget you. I will forget everything." Tears filled her eyes, tears that broke my heart into 1,000 pieces. "But I will not forget," she cried. "I will never forget you, Ollie." I held her hands tightly. "And I will never forget you, Sarah. Never." We stood there, silent, our hearts speaking louder than words. Suddenly, Sarah smiled, a small, brave smile. "Ollie," she said, "I have an idea." "What is it?" I asked quickly. She said, "Let us make a promise. Right here. Right now." I nodded. "Yes. Let us promise." She took out 2 small rings from her pocket, simple, silver rings. "My grandmother gave these to me," she said, her voice shaking. "They are very special, very lucky." She gave 1 ring to me. "Promise me," she said, "no matter where life takes us, no matter how many miles come between us, we will believe in our love. We will fight for it. We will wait for the right time." My eyes filled with tears, happy tears. "I promise, Sarah," I said loudly. "I promise with all my heart." We placed the rings on each other's fingers, with trembling hands and smiling hearts. The next day, Sarah left the city. I stood at the bus station, hiding behind a tree, watching her leave. She turned one last time, waved at me, and smiled through her tears. I waved back, whispering, "I will wait for you, Sarah. I will wait forever." Years passed, slow and heavy years. I worked hard. I studied harder. I became a teacher, a dream I once thought was impossible. I never forgot Sarah, not even for 1 second. And then, one bright morning, when I was walking to my classroom, I saw her, Sarah, standing there, holding a bouquet of flowers, her smile brighter than the sun. "Ollie!" she shouted. I ran to her, not caring about anything else. We hugged, we laughed, we cried. "I came back," she whispered. "I never forgot you." "And I never stopped waiting," I whispered back. Our story had survived distance, pain, and time. Our love, our friendship had won. We looked at each other and smiled, knowing, deep inside, true love does not care about money. True love does not fear distance. True love only listens to the heart. And at that moment, we knew our hearts had finally come home. Red Heart,